Athena, when is the American Independence Day, or when is it celebrated as?
The 4th of July.
Ding, ding, ding! She passed the citizenship test, and you didn't, bro.
That's
What
crazy.
happened?
Guys, I was joking. Obviously, I know that.
No, you weren't.
Of course you were joking. Of course.
I wish you
No,
were
they're
though.
joking.
I wish you were though.
Yeah.
Because I feel better about our American education system.
Wait, can I show
wait.
this video? Hold on. I'm so sorry. Wait, hold on. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I kind of came to say that W. Parker and W. Mr. Jones, though, you guys are smart as shit, bro.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What I did want to do earlier is also give a bump update, because I popped over the weekend, and I know your followers wanted to see it. Jones, hold on.
This one. Hold on. Wait.
Okay, so here's baby Kiara now.
Oh!
What do y'all see that I don't see?
We see her now.
Yeah, I don't see what
You
you're
don't
saying.
see the.
You're such a man.
Hold on. No, I'm not. We don't see her camera on.
Are you for real?
I see the camera on.
We don't see her camera on. Like
Nope,
nobody
I
else
don't
sees
either.
it either. Nobody
I
can
see
see
the
it.
camera on. I see the baby bump.
Oh, I know. I don't see anything.
Yeah,
either.
I don't see her camera on. Nobody in the comments does. Like you're the only
crazy.
one, Athena. So
Are they
That's
gaslighting
so
us?
weird that TikTok does that.
here, let's try it again.
I was
Okay,
like,
can you turn your camera
seeing
on
the guy
now?
with his hand up, and that's about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Do we see it now?
No, we don't
No.
see
We
anything.
see it. I literally see
I
the-
think Athena's fucking with us right now.
I swear.
No.
I see the
Well,
baby
Athena
bump.
knows what.
Yeah.
Listen, look how many people are saying no in the chat. I feel like you're fucking with us right now.
No, I actually genuinely. Are you calling me a liar? That's actually crazy.
It's like when I get one of those guests that like no one in the comment section can hear, and only I and the guest can hear them, and we're just like up there, and people just think that we're like wild in the comment section.
Hey, Kiara,
Wait, maybe-
drop and come back, and let's try this
yeah,
again.
drop a comeback. But
Okay.
while she drops, can you please put me on the big screen? 'Cause
Okay,
this is the video
that's
that I
fine.
wanted. Not whatever like bathroom disaster that other video was. Ugh. Wait, this one.
Please, somebody tag in Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump, please. I'm asking you. Please save me. Please save me. Please get these people away from me.
What the fuck is going on?
Please stop this, please. They're ready.
Okay, that one. He literally continues and prays on to like Donald Trump as well. But
Hey, save me, Tom Cruise. Save me, Oprah Winfrey.
Chump, please save me, Chump.
Do y'all remember on Talladega Nights when he thought he was on fire? Save me, baby Jesus. Save me, Tom Cruise. Oh, man. That's crazy. So the police obviously arrested him, right?
yes, they did. They did actually arrest him, but it was still funny. What is this? That's not Kiara?
It's not. It's Mama Amy. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to come up and thank you guys for all the hard work that you do every day. I see you, I watch your lives quite frequently, and I just wanted to give you guys a big shout out for spreading truth and intelligence to this country that is sorely lacking in critical thinking skills. So that was it. I just wanted to come up and share the love and say thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Have a good one. Guys, let's continue to tap the screen. We should probably be well over 100K likes by now. So let's make sure we're actively participating. Let's tap the screen. Let's share the live. If you want to support any of the content creators that are up here, all of our pay links are in the bio. In addition to that, I'd prefer that for right now, you guys go to the link in my bio that says Free Palestine and either bid on one of those beautiful pieces of artwork or buy a ticket for one of those pieces of artwork, or send a donation. You can send small donations if either you don't want artwork or you just want to you just want to donate. Oh, of course, Johnny Thunder. Of course, you don't have enough people to come up. Oh, okay, Kiara, I see it now.
We see it now. We see it now.
Now we can see
her
it.
now.
That's
And
that's
she
I
even-
know a food baby when I see one.
Oh, shut up! She even has moral consideration now by Parker's standard, not
Wait,
by
wait.
not by Katie's standard, but by Parker's standard.
What week is it?
15.
Oh, I don't hold 15 anymore. I think mine's like I say it's most likely between 18 through 26 for
Damn
the
it.
individual to be sentient.
Well, tomorrow
Almost there.
I hit 16 weeks tomorrow, so she has to wait 2 more weeks and then she can get moral consideration. Like, that's cute.
Thank you, Sally. We're not even going to discuss. You're not even going to discuss my my abortion stance.
Well, I think she's a squad member, though. I think you would give her some moral consideration, no, Jones?
Yeah, definitely. But you indeed want to have a child. But you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah.
Like, okay,
I know.
We're
Remember
not
when
going to
we
talk
beefed
about it.
over your. Remember when we beefed, like had a whole ass like debate
we got off of live and went to the Discord to finish the
Yes.
conversation.
because of your abortion stance.
It's
And then
terrible. I
we-
think it's
It is
probably
not.
one of the worst
It
ones that
is.
I've ever heard. No,
Yeah,
it's
that was
really bad.
listen, I might be like far left and I might be okay with everything, but that stance was like that stance got me beefing with you for the first time. That was crazy.
And I
not
mean,
only me, but Jovan and Kenzie too. We
Yeah,
all
it
three of us
doubles
were
down.
beefing.
He doubles down too. Like he stands 10 toes down. There's no
Taisha
way.
agreed with me. Taisha agreed
Okay.
with me. Mr. Thomas agreed with me.
Okay.
And
So
so,
two people.
Same person.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
oh, you guys,
Well,
I'll show you.
it's
Those are my
People
nails.
that
Sorry.
say you want to hear it, like you really don't want to hear it.
Mhm.
You really don't want to
Okay,
hear it.
Yeah, like, well, listen. Jovan disagreed with you. Covey disagreed with you. Kenzie
fine.
disagreed with you.
Kiara.
Athena disagreed with you as well.
And,
Athena
and,
Covey.
and at
both
the end of the
disagreed.
day, my mind is not changed. I am unmoved.
That's crazy. I'm still gonna talk to you about it. I think I can change him. Everybody,
You're never gonna change my mind.
I can change him.
What's his name? Mr. Jones sounds like those like red pillars who have like a podcast. They're like, a Sigma male dies on every hill. A man of principle. W alpha male.
Damn.
Y'all
I have no
wanna
clue what
know
we're
why-
referencing. I don't even know what
you
this
say
view is.
Parker, he
Oh,
has.
it's on a meme. I just
Oh,
made
yeah.
it up.
You mean
but-
what his abortion stances? You never?
Yeah,
heard
I
of
don't know
Parker?
what the abortion stance
You
is.
don't.
That's
You
what I meant to
literally
say.
don't want to hear it. It's gonna give you an aneurysm.
Okay. I think everyone wants to know now.
Okay, listen. Here's the deal.
Stop.
I'll make y'all a deal. If,
Not the gaslighting.
No, I'm gonna
Already.
make y'all a deal. If we do 10 tickets in the next 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like you verify, if we do 10 tickets in the next 10 minutes, then I'll tell you what my stance is. And I'll have Crow track it.
And you have like a live debate between me and Jones afterwards because that's like ultimately gonna happen. It's
And
gonna
I'm
probably
still
turn
not gonna change my mind.
gonna be a 4v1 because Parker's gonna join, Athena's gonna join, and I'm sure that Buffy's gonna join as well. So brace
So we're gonna
yourself.
go. So at 4 o'clock on the dot, if we sell 10 tickets, links in the bio, then I will tell you what my stance is, and you'll have us debate it.
But I do wanna. Okay,
At
there
4
are a couple
o'clock.
people. I just want to make sure because I don't want your.
Oh, there's
name
Crow
to
right
be-
there. I was literally just texting him.
No, not 10. There's 936 people in here. If they're not going to get, there are early bird tickets still up. There are tough.
there is?
There are Tough Family exclusive tickets still up. Make
Okay.
it 20.
So
You
20.
sold
Okay, that's
18.
fine. 20. There's 20 by the end of by 4. Let's say by 4:15.
Yeah.
20 by 4:15.
There you go.
That gives y'all a little bit of time. So there's 937 people. 20 tickets. Oh, here they want to know what the ticket is for. Here, I'll show you right now. For your opportunity. Here, Athena, you want to tell them what it is that we're doing here?
Yeah, sorry, I was drinking water. I didn't want to do it like unmuted because I don't do that shit. Yeah.
That's a picture of Athena when she was little.
Yeah, that is me. Every photo of mine when I was little is literally like
Side
me,
eye.
like dead inside. Side eye. I also have this one. Wait, I'm so sorry. I also have this one, of course. This is like a classic.
And
that
that's
I wanted
Kiara
to-
when she was little.
Yeah, that's me.
Wait, hold on. Where was that one? Why did I have it here?
Tickets
The
right
hell?
now are $25 if you get one of the first ones.
I am sorry. I have ADHD because I got distracted by looking at like for my photo because I'll show it to y'all after. So we have a project called From the River Across the Sea. It is a project to amplify Palestinian voices, and this fundraiser is going to be a part of that project. So Don Trell painted this beautiful plate with a Palestinian child and a kufiya around his head as well. And he, if you can see, like, take a closer look at his eyes, you see like the star and like the American flag basically. And that's because even though Israel is committing this genocide, America is aiding and abetting in this genocide and it's complicit as well. So this Palestinian child and every other Palestinian child as well are basically looking at America because America is also complicit. And so you're going to buy tickets. It's going to go into like this lottery system type of thing. And then one person is going to win this plate and the money is going to be sent to Gaza. Specifically, there are a couple of people that I personally know who are in northern part of Gaza or in the center of Gaza, which again, there's an active famine happening in the northern part of Gaza that try to get water for the population. So that money is going to literally be used for water and food as well, and maybe medication. So it is for a good cause. And yeah, that's what the fundraiser is all
Can I
about.
add something to that really quick, Athena?
Of course.
So a lot of people are also wondering why the GoFundMe's have such high goals. It is due to them trying to escape Gaza, obviously, and Egypt has like very strict refugee laws. Like they have to get documentations and papers, and they don't just do it out of the kindness of their heart. So like I think it's at least $5,000 for one document.
السلام عليكم
Hello.
أختي
And trying
فلسطين.
to and trying to
وعليكم
get them
السلام. Wait 1 second. وعليكم السلام. انت من وين يا اختي؟
من
يا
فلسطين.
مريم. انت من فلسطين؟
نعم
لا من سوريا.
نعم فلسطين يا أختي، أنا قاعد في سوريا.
تمام طيب. So Mr. Jones, it's like the last group of people as well.
أختي أنا أحتاج المساعدة، لدي 3 أطفال.
ايه أنا فاهمة. لحظة. 1 second. I'll just give her something, Mr. Jones, and then you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones,
Anna,
I want to make space for this
Hassan-
conversation, so I'm going to drop respectfully. I just want to drop.
Okay, no problem.
أنا هرسل لك شيء. لحظة.
I'll drop as well, Jones. But I'm tracking for you. I'll let you know. I'll send you a text back.
Before
you.
you drop though,
Oh.
before you drop, can I just say, Crow and Liv were also in charge of like setting up the website. So I know that I had the idea of launching this project, but genuinely this project wouldn't have even like actually like happened today had I not like got like so much help from so many people that I deeply respect and I deeply care about as well. So thank you so very much. No, why did you drop us?
Oh, I didn't know that you were my bad. Apologies.
I got distracted. You
Oh,
don't have
no.
the memory capacity. You know.
I know. I sent them gifts first.
Thank
That's
you
okay.
so much for that. But yeah, I'm tracking it. I'll keep you guys updated. I just need to be on the back end here for a while. Like I said, as soon as these early birds are gone, the tickets just go back to the normal price, and it's $50. You are not limited to
We
one
already
ticket.
sold a couple just now.
You did, and I'm watching them as we look.
People
You're not limited to one. The more you purchase, it's just like a waffle. It's literally just like a waffle. The more you purchase, the better your chances are. And like Mr. Jones had said before, the last piece that Dantrell sold, the last original piece, went for $52,000. And so this is
Somebody just
Hey,
bought
this is
4 of them.
incredible piece. Oh, let's see if we hit the 20 yet.
Where are we at?
We were at 18 when we started.
شكرا بارك الله فيكم شكرا الله يرزقكم الجنة
We're at
يا رب
37.
بارك الله فيكم شكرا.
So how many
Relatively
did we do?
there.
One more and you
One
hit the
more.
20.
Sister.
One more and we
Get
get
in,
the
Shad.
20.
I want to hear the stance.
شكرا شكرا. Sister, you?
And just really quick, people are trying to ask for where they can buy the tickets.
Yes, if you
So-
click the link in my bio, it says Free Palestine, and it'll take you right to the page. It'll take you right there.
يا مريم أنا دحين حنزلك طيب تمام بس الله يحميكي إن شاء الله والله يحمي عائلتك كمان.
أختي بس 2000 طلعي أختي وأطفالي نايمين على الأرض طلع.
Who has that's the best baby picture right there.
My baby picture is the best baby picture.
That's the best one right there. That's the best one. I think I have a couple of them. Hold on, let me see if there we go. Look at that. Look at that. And if I show you my kids,
And it's done. You hit it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
So on that note, there's only 10 of the Tough family tickets left. Once those are gone, those are gone. We limited each one of our creators that are in the early bird. We limited them to 50 tickets each. Once again, this is for Palestine. We just wanted to allow the communities to have a chance to participate at a for the people price. So after they're gone, after these next 10 are gone, it's 50 each. But yeah, we're gonna be. I think. What time is this ending? I think Parker, this ends after your life, right?
Yeah. What time do you want to go live on your account? Because I got to feed the girls, and then I'll meet you over there.
Let me know whenever you can. I don't have like a specific time I have to.
Okay. What time is it your time right now?
It's almost 1.
It's all okay. So we already hit it. So let's finish this. Let's have this debate. Let's just have this fucking debate.
All right, I'll jump out of here.
And then we'll go and then I'll go feed the girls and I'll meet you over there in a little bit. All right. So here it is. This is my abortion stance. I am pro-choice all 9 months, regardless of outcome. Simply put, regardless of outcome. And the reason that I say that is, right, and I explained this to them before, and I'll say it again. If somebody were to be held against their will and made to be pregnant with a child that they do not want by their rapist, they should have the right to end that pregnancy regardless of outcome. That's how I feel. And I don't feel like it's anybody's, like anybody can make that determination other than the woman, period. Because they're the ones who have to, have the child, live with the whatever it is that they have chosen to do, so on and so forth.
Well, Mr. Jones.
We'll take a poll. We'll take a poll after everybody's made their argument.
Well, listen, I'm
we'll
not.
see.
I'm pro-choice all 9 months, but I do care about the outcomes at some point. I do understand where you're coming from. Like, it's not like I think you have an evil intention, obviously. I think you just really care about the pregnant person in that instance, and you're also very anti-adoption industry and foster care system because there's so much harm involved in that. However,
the vast majority of our trafficked individuals in the United States come from our adoption and foster care system. So, I feel like if somebody wants to end their pregnancy regardless of outcome, especially in cases of rape or incest, I'm not. Who am I to tell them? You know what I'm saying? I can't impose my morality on you. I wouldn't do it. If it was me and like my partner, I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm okay with that. But
I just can't rock with that because I do think that human rights begin prior to birth. I'm a little bit agnostic whether or not it is conception or consciousness, because that doesn't necessarily change my stance on whether or not you have the right to have an abortion. I just think that it is hard to not only be like consistent within your logic, like I don't think we apply this anywhere else, because once the baby is outside of the body, like even if it was born at like 7 months or whatever, you wouldn't hold the position that they can unalive the baby, right?
Nope.
Like you wouldn't. Yeah, and I think that's like, well, I don't really see how the relevance of location would change the ability for you to be able to unalive somebody, because I do think you have the right to remove somebody outside of your body at any instances. However, how you do that is definitely restricted. Just like when somebody punches me and it's like a little kid, I obviously can drop kick it. I would have to remove it in a way that is appropriate. I can end a rights violation with all the means necessary, but I cannot go beyond that.
I hear you. I don't feel like the argument needs to be logically consistent, because again, it is not my, you know what I'm saying, body. It is not me that is having to give birth to this child. I don't think that my morality or my ethical standards should be imposed on anybody. I just don't.
I guess my question in that circumstance would be, like, why do you think murder in any circumstance should be illegal?
Why do I think that murder should be illegal?
Yeah.
Like unjustified unaliving of other people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
that I certainly believe, you know what I'm saying, is should be illegal.
But isn't that predicated off of what our values are? Like, that
yes, because that person is like has lived some semblance of a life. We're talking about somebody who's never been outside of the womb. Outside of the womb, that location does change. You know what I'm saying? But
then you're still imposing your morality on other people in that scenario, right?
Not
you're saying that like it's wrong for them to like kill a child, right? That would be you imposing.
But that's
your
the thing I
morality on
said
them, right?
earlier. I wouldn't do it. That's my morals, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
have a question.
my morals.
So my question is the same as Hex. Are you saying lethal abortion for all 9 months?
Whatever the outcome. Whatever the outcome.
That's the stance.
Whatever the outcome.
Well, as I said, Jones, I'm not as upset at you because I know where you're coming from. Like, I understand your reasoning, but big but is that I don't see the justification part of it like reasonable enough for me to say.
I understand that it's not logically
Kiara?
consistent. What I'm
Kiara?
trying to tell you, it just does not matter what my morals are. Like, you keep asking me what I would do. You know what I'm saying?
Baby
Like,
mama,
Mhm.
I have to. I'm gonna just. You're gonna be mad at me, but I agree with him. So.
And I'm not going to be mad at you. I
Wait,
think.
so here's my question: do we apply our morals to other people's actions?
Yeah.
I
All the
think we
time.
do that.
all
I
the
mean,
time.
that's.
Yeah. So then, like, when you apply your morals onto other people's actions, like, do you think that what they would be doing is wrong, right? If they engage in like a lethal abortion at 34 weeks.
So here's the thing, right? If I felt like, you know what I'm saying, you were engaging in a lethal abortion, you know, at fucking 30 weeks, right? And just for the sake, like, you changed your mind, which we know that would never happen, right? But for argument's sake, because you changed your mind, I'd be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that, right?
But at that point, can't they just induce labor?
Sure. But
So
I'm
then
saying
wouldn't we
that
just say
they
it's wrong
don't.
for them
I
to
said if
do a
they
lethal
engaged
abortion?
in lethal abortion at
Yeah.
that stage, I'd be like, yo, that's wild. Like, I don't know why you would do that. But if you're telling me that this woman has literally been enslaved by her abuser, you know what I'm saying, and hasn't been able to like leave the house, go anywhere, do anything, and then they find a way to escape, and they don't want to give birth to their abuser's child, I can't find, you know what I'm saying, a sound argument
Valet,
against
don't you have to
it.
give birth anyway? Like you have to give birth to the dead baby, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So
I
then,
think-
like, I really don't know what the difference would be between those actions.
I
Because
mean,
inevitably, by nature, they have to do that.
I understand, but I mean, you run the risk of, yes, you still have to give birth or have a C-section, have it removed from your body, so on and so forth. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, one, live with the constant reminder of your abuser's child. And two, like, you don't have to run the risk of that child looking for you later in life, trying to figure out who their parent was.
Wait, so then by those reasons, couldn't you justify killing them outside of the womb then?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
I personally can't. But
Well,
again,
but Jones,
but
Jones,
Wait,
again,
but using those reasonings, you would.
I
Can
do
just use,
understand
like,
the
an
logically
example
the
really
logical
quick?
inconsistency of it. I mean, I've acknowledged that from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that it's not, but it's just like right now, it's all we're doing is like intuition pumping. Of course, like we're just like drawing like examples. Like if you, let's just say this woman comes in with the 30-week pregnancy that was held by a captor, which is obviously horrific, and by
Right.
your standard, you say, hey, if they want to have a lethal abortion, that's okay. What if the lethal abortion attempt fails, right? Like they're doing it and then they remove it, and outside they realize, hey, that baby is still alive. Can they now unalive it or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I would say no to that.
yeah,
That
I would probably say no to that.
But then that's why I'm like struggling with that, because
I don't
nothing has
believe a
really
person
changed.
any type of personhood until they are born. Like that's
And I
just my
disagree
personal
with that
stance.
too.
I know
Yeah,
you
that's
do,
your
but
personal
that's just my
stance.
personal stance.
I just have like, I find issues, like I think it's also not just about like logical consistency, because obviously you can say that you're just a particular risk in that specific instance. I don't know. I feel like intuitively I do seem that the value is there, because we do tend to see like the consciousness that is arising at a certain level, that we would try to protect the subjective experience. So that's why I'm struggling so much with that. I think I don't have as many qualms with abortion, like lethal abortion, obviously, prior to a subjective experience, because then I mean there's no harm to be done.
I just simply don't think that, you know what I'm saying, like that it should be, women's bodies should be legislated in any manner, because one, our Constitution says that there should be equal protections under the law. Men's bodies are not legislated against by any shape, form, or fashion, right? So that's number one. Number two, I think that whatever it is that they determine, is the best course of action for them, is between them, their doctor, their conscience, and whatever deity or lack thereof that they believe in. I just don't.
If there's a man and an infant kid, right, like their kid, and they get stranded, like at a camping grounds or something like that, in that sort of scenario, would we say that like if the man can take care of the kid to sustain their life, should they be obligated to?
It's their child.
It's their child.
It's not really the same kind of thing. Look, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say
I'm just asking, like, do we have a
somebody who
moral
has had-
obligation to like use our bodily resources to take care of, right, our children?
Do we have a moral obligation to use our bodily resources to take care of our children?
Yeah, because in that scenario, you'd have to use your bodily resources.
My morals and ethics would say yes, but I
you
can't.
need to
But
survive.
again, I can't say that for someone else.
Right,
would
that's another
convince
moral
them
and
though.
ethics
You would try to but I think you would try to convince them of your ethics, of your morality. Like you wouldn't want to have somebody not take care of their child. Like that's like the whole point. Just like you as a communist, you try to convince people to be empathetic towards others and take care of others, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's right.
You know-
And so I think the whole imposing of morals isn't like the problem, because I do try to convince people every day to be empathetic, to be moral, and to be ethical. Like that's the point. And I want them to act like I would in those instances.
Okay, but okay, I think you need to look at it from another perspective, and I can see it from the other perspective because I am that person. Had I had been given a different opportunity, I would not have as many children as I have. And I'm not going to get into it because it's extremely triggering for me and probably will be for other people, but I wasn't afforded the opportunity to have as many options as I should have, and it really sucks.
Yeah.
It really fucking sucks. So had I been afforded those opportunities later, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be honest, and you guys can be mad at me if you want to, I was in a really fucking awful situation. I would have taken those options had I had them. But I'm
not mad at you at all. Like
I know people will be, but like
then they can literally
it's my lived
rocks.
experience.
Yeah, literally kick rocks. Like they don't understand your position. I just think that when I talk about abortion, when how I view abortion is that it is an alternative to being pregnant, right? Like if you don't want to be pregnant anymore, that is your right to be, because you have autonomy or bodily integrity, that you can remove things and you can be whole and you can be your own person. But I don't think that abortion is an alternative to parental obligation.
Right.
I think we have other systems in place that allow you to give up, or we should at least strive to have better systems that allow you to give up the parental obligation.
If that was a viable solution, if adoption in foster care was a viable solution in this country, then, you know, sure, but it's not. And we know that it's not. And so I think that it's more immoral to put a child into a system that, you know, is that you know, the likelihood of them having a healthy, happy life is slim. I mean, it is extremely slim.
And I think that it's also dependent on how much resources we give available, like throughout the whole pregnancy. That's why I'm not for restricting abortion. Like, obviously, I think it should be legal throughout all the 9 months, right? Like, because of cesarean section or induction of labor, I think you should always be afforded to stop the rights infringement and to terminate the pregnancy at all times. And I think nobody's really, not a lot of people are going in at 35 weeks or something necessarily.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this is something that is going to be one-off situations, that these aren't things that are going to happen, you know, at a large scale. However, at the end of the day, I think that if it does happen, it's nobody's business but the woman and their physician, period. I think that these are extreme circumstances, but see, here's the problem, right? And this is why I say this. If you legislate that, then you've created, you know what I'm saying, this power vacuum where you have to legislate everything. Then you start scaling back and scaling back and scaling back and scaling back.
I don't think
until there's no rights at all. Huh?
In the same way that you're a particularist on this stance, you could be a particularist on any threshold that you intuitively identify. So, like, again, it's about whatever you see to be excessive, and that's all determined by our intuitions. So all we're really doing is we're describing what our intuitions are to each other, trying to understand each other, right? And, I mean, you can have that intuition. Obviously, like, I would understand people having those types of intuitions. But, I mean, in the same way that you feel like you're going to lose out on things, we're going to have to, like, go back too far towards, like, say, a more conservative side, or it's going to be too restrictive. Well, you could say that for any position you have.
I don't think there should be any restrictions on how a woman decides to, you know, to deal with her pregnancy. I don't think there should be any restrictions.
Yeah, and that's your threshold, right? Yeah. Like, that's where you draw the line. But we already gave an instance where the child would end up in the foster care system or in the adoption system too, and it was due to a failed abortion. Like, they are still alive outside the womb. And that's where you say, like, this is the threshold. This is where I draw the line. This is where I don't think we should now unalive the child or be able
but
to.
It's still, but at the end of the day, I still feel like it's immoral and unethical. Like, shit, it failed. Now we got to put them, you know what I'm saying, in a you know, the adoption or foster care system, which we know is unethical.
So are you
as
saying
well.
In all those examples you consider them wrong? You just don't want them to be illegal?
Correct.
So then under this notion, it sounds to be like legal murder then.
Yeah.
I think that people should be able to unalive themselves if they want to.
No, but that's not murder.
Well, I understand that. No, I understand
so should
that.
murder always be illegal, or should murder only be illegal in most circumstances?
I don't see having an abortion, you know what I'm saying, a lethal abortion, provided that you haven't actually given birth to the child. I don't necessarily see that as murder. I don't personally see that.
Okay, well then it sounds like you don't consider it wrong then, because when we say murder, we mean
I wouldn't do it
wrong. Yeah, but when we mean murder, we mean like the wrong killing of a person.
Unjustified.
Unjustified. Yeah, the
unjustified or wrong would be the same.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that you should. I don't think that you should unalive people without justification. I certainly don't.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we agree. And I think the thing is, like, I don't think you necessarily have to act according to your morals in order to find something ethical or unethical, because obviously you can't even have an abortion.
But I think that you can find justification in the scenario that I gave you. I think that you can find justification.
Parker and I were clearly weren't satisfied or were not convinced by your justification. I understand your justification. And I think, as I said, out of all the reasonings that you could possibly have, you are reasonable within your justifications. Like, you really just care about the harm that could potentially arise with foster and adoption. And I'm very anti those systems too, because they are so incredibly harmful to children. But I just don't see a difference between like the baby inside the womb at that point versus like the failed abortion outside the womb, because they would both have the same outcome. And I would say, like, I wouldn't say that in one instance it's right, in one instance it's wrong, or should be allowed and should not be allowed.
I got you. I like I said, I don't grant personhood until birth. You know what I'm saying? Because anything could happen. You could literally, the baby could pass away. You know what I'm saying? In the process of being born. And so I don't feel like there's personhood. There's no personhood established until you were actually born.
And I just want to clarify for the comments one more time, because people are confused. We're all pro-choice on this panel. This is more like a difference in position of pro-choice, just like somebody can still hold
Thank
just
you, Ian Ray.
personhood,
Appreciate you
for
guys.
example. Somebody can hold completely bodily autonomy. Some people have like different positions, and that's just what we're simply analyzing right now. Parker and I haven't tag teamed somebody in a while, so that was
It's been a really long time. It's like been like a year or two, I feel
at
like.
least, yeah. I mean,
I understand that sentience is a better stance. I'm telling you that I hold different standards for like what I would do, but I also don't have a uterus. And I also don't believe in legislating against those who do under any circumstances. So like there's nothing, and when I say that there's nothing that would change my mind about that, I mean there's nothing.
That's okay.
I don't feel
That's
like you
okay.
should ever legislate against what someone else does with their body. You know what I'm saying? I can't, you can't sign me up for that.
What about vaccines?
Not
Yeah,
even.
but not even.
But however,
So like, let's say that there's a disease that like there's 70% mortality rate, extraordinarily transmissible, right? And there's like half the society believes that if they get this vaccine that they're going to get sent to hell. Now, like, would you force them to get it so that you can save everyone?
No, so I would not force them to get it. I would, however, though, say that you have to quarantine yourselves. All of you guys have to stay together then. You know, if you don't want to get it, cool. But you can't be with the rest of the people that are getting it. You can't be with the rest of the population.
And if they did leave from those areas, then you would force them to get vaccinated, right?
That you've given them a choice.
Well, isn't that coercion, though?
Well, no, it's not.
It is.
I think it is.
It is, though, because you're saying, like, do this or
Well,
I'm
no.
going to
So
force
coercion
you to
would be
vaccination.
like, let's look at capitalism, for example. Hey, you can't have access to food, healthcare, shelter, water, you know what I'm saying? Like nearly any of the things that you need in order to substantiate life if you don't work, right? In this scenario, y'all can do whatever the hell you want. Have access to all the resources in this space, but you can't leave this space and integrate with the rest of society because you are a danger to them. So it's setting boundaries.
Yeah. Is this about to turn into a capitalist debate against?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Well, I mean, we can run that.
I mean, if you want to run it, we can run it. But I'm saying, like, that's not what I'm attempting to do here.
Then we're talking about like differences between natural coercion and coercion, and then also we're saying like I also do think it is coercive to say that like, oh, because if they don't get vaccinated, right? Say in this scenario, you would send them to prison or you'd send them away from society or something bad would happen to them that they don't want, right? I think that's an element of coercion, the same way that like someone could coerce someone using finances.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I don't, because so what you're saying is that if I, right, am a person who doesn't want to get a vaccine.
Yeah, think in the movie industry, like they say, oh, if you don't have intercourse with me or you don't do this sexual thing to me, I'm not going to promote you.
Yeah.
Well, this is not the same. And let me explain why.
That's coercive.
It's not, because like I said, you're not taking anything away from them. You're not taking away any of their access to resources of any kind, right? All you're saying is that, and you said it, what's the transmutable rate is 70%? Or is this the lead?
No. The mortality rate.
The mortality rate is 70%.
I could make the mortality rate 95%, 99%.
Okay, cool. So what you're saying is you're intentionally, right? That what I would call that is manslaughter, if not murder. premeditated even, because you know that the mortality rate is high and you're still willing to participate in this activity that's going to unalive other people.
You could say the same thing with the scenario in the abortion, right? At that late, if it's lethal.
I would say
yes,
that.
but no, because I don't grant personhood until they're born.
Okay, well, that's a different discussion. And again, like if we have to establish personhood, but we were just like considering personhood does begin somewhere.
Somebody said, why are Parker and Jones arguing? We're not. It's fine. We're not arguing.
Personhood would then be established based on location, which would be the same as someone saying like, oh, the zygote doesn't have value as a zygote, but it has value once it's inside the womb. I feel like that's the same type of argument because it's like location, then it's different. So would you say that that's justified to hold to?
Not necessarily. I mean, so again, you know what I'm saying? Like, from sperm to sperm and egg, like conception, you know, all the way through until the person's born. I like all of that makes no difference to me whatsoever. Like, I am not interested in any. I understand how the process works, right? But I'm not interested in any of the minutia, right? Like the end result is, hey, does this uterine bearing person not want this pregnancy?
Wait, but that's your justification. Like, I would like to like listen just to your personhood argument because I've never really listened to it. When I just like out of curiosity, you said that it begins at birth. When do you think that personhood ends?
At death, or you know what I'm saying? I would say like brain death and no recovery from brain death. I would say that like.
Why is that?
Because so as I mentioned earlier, if I were to die, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I came out the womb, say as soon as I came out the womb, I had fluid on my lungs, you know what I'm saying? And like died, or I didn't even make it out of the birth canal without, you know, perishing. Like there's so many things that can happen, during the actual course of childbirth.
Completely.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And so you're not a person until you're born.
I disagree though, because I don't think that when you die is important. It's about like when you like if you had personhood previously, because if you cannot like literally have a miscarriage at like 4 weeks, right? And then I wouldn't consider that as a person because I don't think personhood begins at conception. I think that personhood begins at a certain brain activity and brain structure, like consciousness.
Sure, but here's the thing, though. Would you make the legal argument that that fathers should start paying child support at personhood?
Yeah,
in the womb,
even before that, because I think
at conception.
I think that reproductive labor is labor.
Oh, I agree with that. Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
So I think that shouldn't be.
So, but what if the pregnancy ends? You know what I'm saying? With you know, unintentionally.
That's okay.
Do you have to reimburse the money?
For the time being that you have provided the reproductive labor and your body was under infringement, and you wanted that, and you didn't want it specifically, then I think you should be reimbursed, and I think it should be done by the state. Like I feel like you can probably say like some like people that like wanted to be pregnant and don't care to be paid for it because all their material needs are met.
And I agree with all of this. Everything that you said, you know, up to this point, I agree with all of this. Here's the problem, right? We still live in a patriarchal society where men would fight, you know what I'm saying, something like that, tooth and nail. And at the end of the day, right? And why I hold the stance that I hold is because men historically, especially in American society, have had way too much control over women's bodily autonomy, medical privacy, their children, so on and so forth, have had entirely too much control. And at some point, right, control has to be relinquished. Women should be able to make whatever decision they deem best. And nobody else should be able to impose either their moral, or ethical, or religious will on them. That's just
why I'm
how I feel.
That's why I'm pro-choice all 9 months, 100%. Because I mean, especially being pregnant now. Trust, I've never been as pro-choice in my life as I am right now. Like the amount of hardships that I had to go through, the nausea, the mental aspects of it, the physical aspects of it, it's no joke. I can't imagine being forced to be pregnant. Like I want this baby, so of course it's different. but I cannot imagine being forced to do that. And that's why I do believe that every single person with a uterus has the right to terminate a pregnancy at any given point.
I think
I just
autonomy
don't
is
agree with
autonomy.
yeah, but I don't agree with the outcomes, because by that standard, if you say autonomy is autonomy, then I could say, well, somebody flicked me, therefore I can unalive them. Like,
No,
we
that's
have
not the same at all.
it's the same thing. It's the same logical principle. Then I can say, well, autonomy is autonomy. They infringe on my autonomy, therefore I can do whatever I want.
Right.
Like, we can't. I completely.
But I feel
agree
like
with
we're
you.
ignoring. I feel like if we're taking this moral stance, that we're ignoring, you know what I'm saying, the other moral and ethical implications of adoption and foster care. And not only just adoption and foster care, but also looking at the fact that 1 in 5 children in the United States go to bed without food every night. 1 in 7 households deal with food insecurity. More than 50% of kids in the United States don't have regular access to health care, mental health care, and 70% have or more have no access to dental care. And then we talk about fresh fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like 40% of children in the United States live in food deserts. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on about the moral implications. Go ahead.
Can we also?
I wanted Bobby to go too, but go ahead, No-Rads, and then Bobby.
Can we also address the concern of the other parent, right? Because that's something that's come up in the comments. Well, oh, you don't want foster care, you don't want abortion, if you know, or you don't want adoption, the other parent, why would you not let the other parent take care of them? If just from personal experience relating to this, if you are in this situation, the other parent is not a viable option as a parent. You're this far along in a pregnancy and you choose not to use adoption as an option. There's reasons. There's serious reasons for making these decisions. And I don't think that there would be any individual who would carry a pregnancy that long and just be like,
exactly that.
Like, there's danger involved, not only for the mother, but then once the child is outside the womb and a living, breathing, sentient being, they are also in danger. And I'm speaking on this from personal experience, and having to be tied to someone who is mentally inconsistent and mentally dangerous. I would have chosen other options. I would have. Like, I love my kid. She's the best. If you guys ever get to see her or talk to her, you'll love her too. Like, that's my little buddy. But I would have chosen other options just to not be tied to that individual because of the terrible, terrible person they have become.
The point that I wanted to make, I'm kind of on Jones's side on this with the all 9 months thing. Although I do value sentience, and my personal morality would say that I wouldn't. I mean, I'm pro-life for myself, I guess, but what I wanted to say is that if we establish, whatever age we think personhood happens, and, when viability and all that stuff, let's say, fine, we all agree, maybe we all agree to 30 weeks or something, or whatever. And then, you have women who go to their OBGYN appointment, that 38 weeks, 39 weeks, and the baby is fully grown, heartbeat, everything's ready to go. I had a really tough labor, my last pregnancy, and at 38 weeks, I was like ready to pop. I was ready to have the baby. And my OBGYN was like, maybe we can, get him to get labor to move along. I'd been in pre-labor for 2 weeks at that point. And my doctor wanted to give an induction, but she said that she would have to ask supervisors about it because they had a policy, an administrative policy, that would not allow them to induce a pregnancy. I think I was like a day short or something. And so
that's ridiculous. I would definitely be against that. Like, you should be able to induce at that point for sure.
After viability would be, I would say, like, after viability, all abortions should be basically inductions, unless there's an issue with like maybe the baby isn't actually viable. There's all kinds of reasons. There's so many reasons why,
like medical circumstances, absolutely.
Right, where babies don't make it. Now, in my case, the doctor asked the administration. They said, no, let's wait a few more days. 4 days later, I go to the hospital, fully dilated, ready to pop. and there's no heartbeat. And if we had induced my pregnancy at my last OBGYN appointment with my doctor's recommendations, with what I wanted, I would have a 4-year-old right now. So the thing about putting these limits and saying, okay, pro-choice until viability, the thing is that if they had induced me and he had died anyways, the doctor could have lost her license. I could have sued for medical malpractice, even though, it's what I wanted. But if it hadn't been exactly the way it is, the hospital could have gotten in trouble. People could have lost their jobs. And then there are too many, this whole thing about, we use so many hypotheticals when we're talking about pregnancy and abortion. What if, the baby's born at 7 weeks and now it's outside of your body? There are real people going through real medical crises with their unborn children, and they're 38 weeks along and they're 39 weeks along. And we can't be legislating and saying that women can't get a quote unquote abortion, because what if the baby dies anyways? Exactly like what Joan said, exactly like what happened with me. There's no way that if my doctor would have done what I wanted them to do and he died anyways, that she should have gone to jail.
No, that's why I completely agree. I think we have like the exact same position. I don't believe that you should stop having abortions after viability. I just believe in the type of abortion that would change. Like after viability, I'm just for induction or cesarean. And of course, in medical instances, if it has to be lethal, like obviously I'm not against that. I think we should obviously, like doctors can make that determination. They can say, hey, here's the risks associated with having like an abortion at 26 weeks for you and the baby. So the patient can make an informed decision. Of course, like, is it maybe good to wait a week? But under no circumstances should there be force involved. Like when the mom says, hey, I cannot do it mentally anymore, I cannot do it physically anymore, I cannot be pregnant anymore, then she should have an abortion, 100%.
And I also wanted to just echo, thank you, Joan, so much for mentioning the fact that not all women who are pregnant are safe. Not all women have a choice, even if it's legal. Not all women have a choice. And the pregnancy I just told you about, that was number 5. I have no living children. My previous 4 children that I lost were before, during, and after trafficking. I was impregnated by a trafficker, and it's the whole situation, all 9 months, is precarious for women and precarious for doctors. And I feel like everyone should be pro-choice all 9 months, because we shouldn't be putting doctors in jail or taking away their licenses when they're doing exactly what they think is right according to their medical expertise. And I mean, like personally, right? So if I was I would never want an abortion for myself. Okay, I've always wanted to be a mom. But if I was in a position where I was trapped in like a DV situation, and he was like, you're never gonna get rid of me now that you got my baby, like it wouldn't matter if I was 7 months along. I wouldn't want to have that baby. I wouldn't want to bring a baby into a household that is dangerous like that. And personally, if you're in like a DV situation, you can't just give the baby away either. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I don't like you anymore, we should probably break up, so I'm gonna just send your baby to the States. The fact that unaliving for pregnant women is predominantly because they are murdered, that statistic alone should be enough that everyone is pro-choice all 9 months.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Hey, Jessica Marie, so then take your baby out of that situation with you. I did. That is the most insensitive shit that I've ever seen. Like, what the fuck?
Sure is.
Like,
sure
like
is.
Oh yeah, why don't you just leave?
I saw that.
Bobby, feel free
Like, yo,
to
that's
reach out.
crazy.
My DMs are open for you anytime. I mean, that goes for anyone. If you need any emotional support, if you want to talk to somebody, this tough family is really about taking care of people, period. So you're always welcome in my DMs if you want to talk about something.
I
100%.
appreciate that. I'm trying really hard to get away from trauma dumping. I've like ruined my reputation on TikTok because of trauma dumping. It's just that like TikTok is so like people get so in their feelings and so emotional. And I feel like so many of the people who are yelling so loud, like they don't have a personal stake in the things they're arguing about and stuff. I'm trying to get away from trauma dumping. I just get triggered and then I just have to say it. It's like the ADD thing.
No, I think it's also an important part of the conversation. Like we're talking about real people, right? Like we're not just talking about hypotheticals and just about like what ifs. Like we're talking about how people are affected by policies and legislations. And I am the first one to change their stance on something if I see the effects of a certain policy and a certain legislation. Yeah. So if I see that there's benefits, like a lot of benefits associated with like even having like lethal abortions all 9 months, then I'm happy to change my stance on that. That's not what it is about. I think we should talk about it. And I think thank you for doing the emotional labor and share your story. And as I said, you can always reach out to me and talk about it if you want to. I'm pretty good with like distracting people or making them feel good and just letting somebody feel heard. Okay, so
I want Adorna to go really quickly. Then Athena's going to go over the project one more time. Then I'll quickly let Mama Amy talk, and then we got to go.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Adorna.
I was just wondering, so I know that just in terms of like when they call like time of birth, for example, they are talking about full body out. But for you personally, I'm wondering when you say that you think it should be able to be lethal, at what point do you mean? So do you mean like if the head is out and it's taking its breath? No, because at that point in time, it's not technically born, because you said you didn't think it was born. I mean, it's a person until it's born. So legally, it's not born at that point.
I feel like we're trying to drill it down, you know what I'm saying, to like the exact moment, like has it breached the cervix, so on and so forth. And that's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm saying that after the child, is born, like legitimately born, and then you I mean, there's no way you can determine, hey, I don't want it anymore. But prior to going into labor, prior to having the baby, so on and so forth, I feel like you should be able to end that pregnancy in any manner you deem fit as a woman or as a uterine bearing person. And that's simply it. I don't think that it should be legislated against. And Adorna, we've talked about this before. I told you this before. I don't think this should be legislation. Simply that.
So I just happen to I rock with what Kiara said. I'm pro-choice, and I'm totally down with the ability to have an abortion all 9 months, and because what you're determining at that point is what you want to be able to happen to your body, right? So I don't want to be pregnant anymore. It to me is totally different than I don't want it alive anymore. Those are two different things.
I got you. There's going to be extreme circumstances, as Bobby was talking about, the trafficking situation, the DV situations, there's going to be incest. There's going to be extreme circumstances where people are like, I can't bear to live with myself having this child.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, yeah. I understand, yeah, because I do understand, the foster system, adoption, etc. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But I guess it just depends on what your abortion stance is then, because bodily autonomy would just mean I think I shouldn't have to carry it. To me, that's just different than determining whether you.
Like I said, I understand that it's not that to some people that's a horrendous take, so on and so forth. But again, in these unfortunate circumstances, I cannot see that I can't make an ethical or moral stance to impose, right? How I feel. Okay, baby. Impose how I feel on somebody else, because like that could be like literally earth shattering for them. It could destroy that woman and their life, entirely.
You mean just knowing that there's a baby out there? Because as was pointed out, they still have to deliver it. So just knowing that a baby's out there could destroy them, you're saying? Okay.
In my situation, there wasn't a choice for me to have a baby within my domestic violence situation. My choices were get an abortion or we'll give you one. So it's not like women can all just go to the state or turn to their families. Like there's just not always a choice, and it's just that simple, I think.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't think that this, even if it was allowable, right? I don't think that this is something that's going to happen, on a regular basis. I don't think that people are just going to be rushing out. If somebody makes it, unless, like I said, they're in the circumstances that I was talking about, unless they're in a circumstance where they're literally trapped and can't get away, right? I don't think that people are just going to make it to 33 weeks, 36 weeks and be like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I changed my mind. Like the likelihood of that happening is slim and none.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand. So I would be okay. I'm okay with, I understand your viewpoint. Let me say that. I understand your viewpoint. Because for me, the day before my due date is not any different than the day after my due date. Like if I actually had it on the due date. To me, that's any different. But I can see why for us, the difference is the same as for me not being okay after sentience and someone who's saying before they still think it's not okay. So to me, I understand that it's a line. It's just, now I understand how they feel, kind of, to be honest.
Right, because like I said, until you've been in one of those life-altering situations that I mentioned, like how can you, impose your morals and ethics on somebody else who has or is? Like imagine you've been trapped in somebody's basement, pregnant with your abuser's child, for 26 weeks, and then you come out. Like who am I to tell you? Nope, you got to have that baby. And if you don't want it, you got to give it up for adoption. And if that baby comes looking for you later on in life, oh, well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to say things like that? So I understand it's not popular, but I feel how I feel on it.
So it's also you coming from a compassionate stance. So that's why I keep saying that I don't hate you for it. Like, I don't think you're a bad person.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, actually. Yeah. I appreciate your feeling as though I should have decision over my life. So I understand that.
All right, Mama Amy, go ahead. Mama Amy, go ahead. Then we're going to take a poll and see where people land on this, and then we're going to go. Sorry. Sorry, Athena, sorry. Go.
Bye, it's live.
This is giving me Vietnam War flashbacks of the debate that we had. That's why
I know.
But anyways, hold on.
Yeah.
Can you not?
How does technology work? Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Fine.
Who shrank me? Was it you, Kiara?
I just wanted to show my meme, but it doesn't work. I just made a
contest to
How does technology work?
I made a meme for Jones. How does technology work?
See, it was the ancestors because you tried to make fun of me, and that's why.
Yeah.
Anyways, hold on. I have my iPad here.